Here we go. It says I am streaming. I'll check this on my phone. Oh, well, I think that was your notification that I just went live.
Yeah.
So I must be live. So let me kick it over here. It says I am streaming. Turn the volume down so I can see who's chatter sizing with me. There we go. So welcome everybody, and you too. Welcome. Let me adjust this up just a little bit. There you go. There we go. Welcome. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. Tech Tuesdays, Google Doc spreadsheet follow-up system. I'm going to run you guys through a Google Doc spreadsheet that I built. Cool thing about it is I'll be able to share it with you, especially if you have a Gmail. I can actually share the sheet with you, show you an example. This, of course, will be evergreen on Facebook, so you can come back and watch. But I have all the formulas built into the spreadsheet. So if you decide you want to use a Google Doc spreadsheet, all the formulas are there. Pretty cool. You'll be able to see it, and I can share it with you, so you can go out and plug in your own information and have a lot of fun-rific times with it. So let's go. I'm going to run through this really quick. I'm just going to show you how it works. And if you think of something you want to use, you can shoot me a private message. This is the first time catching me live on Facebook. Make sure you just comment what part of the world you're coming in from. And also, what do you use for follow-up? Do you use a good old-fashioned notebook? Do you use a calendar? Do you use some kind of fancy contact management system? Do you use a phone? What do you use for follow-up? Let's share that here. So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. I'm going to jump over here so I'm on the right screen. I've got that up and going. Feel free to love, like, share, invite your teammates, friends, co-workers, whoever that you want to swing by and get some really super geeky stuff going on here today. So let me share my screen. Bring me back here. Click on share. Share screen. I should pop up in the corner there. Coolio. Why is there a string floating in the background?
That's the birthday thing.
Woo! It's a birthday banner string. Everybody's like, what is that string right there? So anyway, now that I brought everybody's attention to it, they'll be looking at it the whole time and won't be paying attention to me. That's the psychology of, I don't know. Anyway, so this is a Google Doc spreadsheet, as you guys can see. I wish I could zoom in on it, but I can't. So you'll probably have to blow the screen up. I haven't figured out that technology yet. But as you can see, what I did is I went through and created a bunch of columns. So the first thing that you want to do when you have a Google Docs, of course, you need a Gmail account. And up here, you can call your form whatever you want to. When you first open it up, it's just going to have, I think it's going to have untitled in there or something like that. So you have an opportunity to title it whatever you want to title it. Down in the bottom, down here in the screen, you can see I've got different tabs for different things. I've got my follow-up tabs down here on the bottom that you can use for following up when you're reaching out to people. So in this example, I'm going to show you how to go through and set this up. So the first row or the first column that you're going to need to do is figure out what you want to title these at. So date, your active lead name. I always put a social media URL in here, so I'll go like over to Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever they're at, and I'll copy and I'll paste their URL there for their social media profile. That way, if I need to send them a message, I can just click on it really quick, and it opens up that profile into another tab. The next one over depends on how you contact them. If you have their name, their email, their phone number, make sure you get that in there. And then this column here, we're going to come back to. This is the tool sent. I'll show you how to set that up. Okay, the date the tool was sent or the Zoom attended. So it just depends on what tool you're sending them, and you can title this whatever you want. You can just title tool sent, Zoom attended, video sent, whatever you want, just so it makes sense to you, so you understand what you're sending them. These columns on this side, these are the fun columns here. These columns over here are the ones that you're going to set for your follow-up, how you're going to follow up with them. So you said in here, let's say I sent them an overview video, a teaser video, whatever it is, and we'll come back and we'll show you column E here in a minute. let's say I send them a teaser video and I need to do a follow-up. So this is going to be the date of my first follow-up, my 4-day follow-up, my 30-day follow-up, my 45-day follow-up, my 60-day follow-up, my 90-day follow-up, 120-day follow-up, 180-day follow-up. And you can run that as far out as you want to. Some people say you have a 180-day follow-up. What I've learned, and this is very, very important to understand. I had this conversation today with one of my marketing friends, and the conversation was, and I learned this in Rank Makers, follow up till they tell you to go jump in the lake, or some other kind of language similar to that, or they die. And the reason we do this is, and I'll tell you what happened. I started with this group of people that I know, and I have a large group of people that I just went into. I got a lot of personal trainer friends, and I put people in groups depending on what I'm doing. And I have literally been hounding these people. And when I say hounding, I mean I've been following up, and I just religiously, probably more than this schedule here, because they would do things like, yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, I want to look at that. That's cool. And, you know, I was a little bit more aggressive than some people might be in terms of following up. That's just me. Sometimes there's deflection follow-up and things like that. They teach us in Rank Makers, which is some of the stuff here. And there's, and I've learned this. When you follow up, if people don't want you to follow up anymore, guess what they're going to say to you? Stop. Take me off your list, discontinue follow-up, whatever your deal is, you know, looking to lose weight, get, you know, bigger eyeballs, shine your hair, brighter skin, shine your teeth, whatever it is. Appreciate a referral. I've taken you off my follow-up list. Thank you. And you move on, right? So in this group this last week, I enrolled just a stupid number of people. I think I just enrolled like 5 more people today, which is just awesome, cool. And it's really exciting. And it's because I've just got stupid ridiculous with follow-up. Now, my follow-up, and you see I've got a bunch of tabs down here at the bottom, and I have different tabs for different groups that I put people in depending on what I'm doing. So let's go back over here to this side, and you can see now this area right here, I'm going to show you how this works. This is pretty neat. In this column, you'll see it has little pull-down arrows. So in my pull-down arrows, if I hit my little pull-down arrow, it's going to show I have these options, and I can put in here what I want to. So I've got like my itis, my presentation. Then I've got here, this is a tool that I send out. Then whether or not I send them a text message. And I actually use my digital business card for my text messaging. And for those of you that, if you have a digital business card, you might want to put it in. I know I use my digital business card, so I wouldn't want to put in your digital business card text, because that's what I'm using to send them a text with. Facebook Messenger, maybe I communicate through Facebook Messenger with them. I send them a message through Facebook. Maybe they watched an entire overview presentation, which might be a recorded overview, or I send them to a live Zoom invite. So you can put whatever you want to in this area. So how do you do this? So first, you're going to right click in this area, and at the very bottom page, at the very bottom down here, it says data, or data, depending on where you're coming from, data validation. You're going to click in that, and you're going to notice it comes up here, cell range. You don't need to do anything in that. In this criteria here, there's a pull down area that you want to choose list of items. You don't want to do list range. You want to do list of items. And then you're going to choose what you want to put as the items separated by a comma. And you notice there's no space in here. You can put a space. It doesn't really matter. Either way, it'll work fine. So you see I've got itis, iBoom, text, FBM, overview. Got an extra comma in there. Doesn't really matter. Overview, live Zoom invite, and whatever I want to put in there. I could put in phone call if I wanted to. So if I put comma, phone call, right? Or maybe I do a 3-way call. So maybe it's three-way call. Okay, maybe it was a 3-way call. So I add that in there, and all of this show drop down list in cell. Show what, and I'm not sure why I put that, but just leave it that way, and then hit save. Okay, so here's the second part of this. So if you guys are catching me over there, hey Ephraim, thanks for swinging by. Vangi, Ricardo, D, Di, thanks for swinging by. Brian, Wes, Roger, Harmon, what's going on, man? So in this Google Doc spreadsheet, so once I've created this first cell, and you'll notice as it's highlighted, there's this little bitty square right here. If you can see this, there's a little bitty square right here. You may have to zoom into it. You saw when I put my cursor over it, turns into a cross. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over that little square. I'm going to hover over the little square right there, and none of these other arrows are going to be here. You're not going to see any arrows. The only one you're going to see arrows in is this first one. So I'm going to hover over this little square, and I'm going to do just like, oh, let me show you how this is. So I put the data validation in there earlier, and you'll notice it has these. On top of that data validation, I added three-way call. There's no three-way call in here, right? So rather than me having to open up each individual cell and do this over and 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 over, I simply have to go right here to this lower right-hand corner, put my cursor over, it's going to turn into a cross. I'm going to push down with my left mouse button, the left mouse button, and I'm going to push down with that, and I'm just going to drag it down. And I'm just going to let that run as far down as I want to go, depending on how many people I think I'm going to put on this sheet. I'm pretty sure I'll be to several hundred here pretty soon, so I'll run it down, whatever. This is just my practice sheet anyway. So you'll notice everything fills in. So down here on row 115, if I click on this, look, it pulled everything down there, and I didn't have to type it twice. Now, if you go in and you add, let me move myself out of the way there. If you go in and change an item, or you insert an item, say you get to row 22 and you're like, oh man, I got a new thing I need to send them. Just, you don't have to go all the way back to the top, because then it'll delete everything out. Just go down to row 22, open up row 22. Let's scroll down just a little bit so we can see this. So I'm on row 22 and say I want to add a new contact deal. So I want to do data validation. Yeah, I'm in super geek mode, so I hope you guys aren't going to sleep with me. I'm going to data validation, and I spelled something wrong there. Three-way call. And let's say I'm going to add in snail mail. I don't know why, or maybe mail out sample, mailed sample. Okay, mailed sample. So maybe I've got samples that I'm mailing out for some reason to people. I'm going to hit save, and I'm on row 20. Now, you probably don't want to go all the way back to row 1 and do that, because you've already put information in those. It's going to delete it all. Do so from row 20. You notice here it says mailed samples has been added to row 20, but down here it's not added. So as far down as I want to go, maybe I'm just going to do it for the next 10 or 15 customers or 20 customers, however you want to go. And I'm just going to pull that down, and you'll notice that these down here have it added. Let's scroll down a little bit so you guys can see that. So you notice on row 36, it says, oops, where'd it go? I had it. I think I went a little too far. A little too fast on myself. Let's see what was I on row 20? So let's check row 25. There it is. Three-way call. No, it didn't. It didn't work. Hold on, you guys. Mailed sample. Let's try it one more time. This works, I promise. I'm going to pull down here. We're going to go down to row 35. I'm going to lift it up. Click out of it. Mailed sample. You see? You got in here. Mailed sample. And anytime I want to change a range, all I've got to do is just right-click in it. Scroll down to the bottom. Click on data validation. And take out whatever I need to take out, and hit save, and it will update that. And if you don't use it, it's not going to make anything weird unless you're doing some kind of funky math in here where you've got a formula, and that's a whole nother training lesson where for every time you send out a mailed sample in column EE, you know, count if column EE is equal to mailed sample, and then you put that in there and equals 1, and that's a whole nother training, and Google Doc spreadsheet will blow your mind. It's really cool. But I've been doing this for a long time, so it just depends on, you know, where they're at in the formula system. It will really geek you out learning these formulas. It's a lot of fun because you can do a lot of tracking. Maybe you want to know how many people you sent a presentation to in a certain month. You can calculate that in totals, and that would be more for somebody like in a sales organization where, like in my job, I've got to do a report every month of how many leads came in, how many leads where it showed up, how many leads got a presentation, how many turned into a sold, how many, and then I've got to do a math calculation based on percentage of leads and the numbers that showed up versus the numbers that converted into sales, and the ones that converted into sales. I've got to figure out how many salespeople actually sold each one. Need to look at their conversion and closing ratio, and I've got to turn that in as a report. Probably just blew your mind, and you build a Google Doc spreadsheet that tracks all that. So I've just got to go fill in the blanks. Every month I copy it, copy the next tab, move it over, and it's a whole nother story. So that's super geek mode for you guys. So anyway, So coming back to the easy stuff. So that's how you do a data validation in multiple columns, and you can do as many as you want. So let's say, for example, maybe that you send out different types of samples, right? So you could create a column here that's called samples. And in that column, you might have an eyeball sample, an ear sample, a hair sample, a face sample. And you could have each one of those depending on which customer that you talk to. You're going to send out a sample for them. So I know that probably just drove you guys nuts. That's okay. You'll be all right. Hey, Roderick, thanks for swinging by. I really appreciate it. So you can name your columns what you want to up here. You might even want to start out with just like a legal pad or something. Just okay, what do I want in this information? How do I want to follow up with these people? Now this is where this becomes fun. So let's say that I reach out to this awesome guy. His name is Forrest. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna copy his Facebook URL or his LinkedIn URL or Twitter, wherever I found him from. He voluntarily gave me his phone number and his email address because I asked for it. I almost demanded to say, I always use the terms shoot me, I always say, go ahead and shoot me your email address and your mobile number. And I don't just say mobile, I say mobile numbers. For some reason, it just clicks and works better. So let's say I sent Forrest an iDecide presentation. I want to put in the date that I sent it to him. So I'm going to put in the date. And today is, let's say I sent it on the 17th, so I'm going to go 12/17/2019. You got to put in the whole date like that. You'll notice the second that I put in the date, it automatically said follow-up is going to be tomorrow. So this is my one-day follow-up. It automatically put it in there as a one-day follow-up. My 4-day follow-up is going to be on the 21st. My 30-day follow-up is going to be on something happened. The math isn't right in the formula. Shouldn't be on the 22nd. It actually should be, oh, you know what? Something's funky here. I missed a column. 4-day. There should be a 15-day follow-up in here. Anyway, so let's play with this a little bit. So you'll notice that this says 12/21. If you come all the way over here, you'll see my formula equals date value parentheses F2 parentheses plus 4. So this is my F2 column right here, right? F2, I put in the date 12/17/19. For my 4-day follow-up, it's going to be 18/19/2021. So I just have to do a plus 4. So the formula is already built into this. So when you guys get this Google Doc spreadsheet, all the formulas are in here. So my 30-day formula, the math is off, right? So instead of what would be 30 days from, it's actually 30 days from the initial day here. So it would be January 18th. So I'm going to add 30 days. So instead of a plus 4, I would do a plus 30, right? Now watch this. I'm going to hit enter, and it just changed it to January 17th. And then it corrected all of these days. 45 days would be February 4th, I think. So yep, it just corrected all the days as it went across here. So, and I calculated it all based on this first day. So once I corrected this formula here, now the cool thing about this is, like I said, I can take this, if I have a corrected formula, I'm going to put my little cursor over the lower right-hand corner, and let me delete the value first. See if I deleted the formula. I bet I just did. Yep, so that's what I did before. So let me drag it that way. Created the formula. Need to turn that back to 30. You guys will follow me on this. Watch this. I know I'm lost people. So I corrected everything. Oh, I put it in the wrong column. And this is actually plus 4. Yep. And I can also drag sideways. You see that, you guys? I can drag sideways. Let's go back and change that to 30. So I'm back to 30. So corrected. I'm going to take the date out of here before I drag this down, and you'll see why. If I leave the date in there and I drag it down, all those columns are going to change to the date that's in the first column. But I just want to change the validation. So I'm going to hover over that corner. If I can get that out of my way. Thing is being a little bit. I've got a script up in here that's jumping in my way. So when I do that, I'm going to grab that lower corner and I'm just going to pull it all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to run that down probably to about 200 or so, or however far I want to go down. and you'll notice whatever date that I put in over here. Watch this. So we'll go to 25/2020. I hit tab, and you'll notice it calculated all the way across for my fields. You'll notice there's nothing in this field because there's no data validation there. So if I come up here to my data validation, my bottom one, and I grab that and I pull it down, it automatically filled in the value for that row down here on row 68. So as you go down and you pull the data validations down, it's going to pull everything in conjunction with that. And again, so to go back to sort of rewind to show you guys just a little bit, I love using rewind, don't I? Let's go back. So to go back again, all these formulas are built into this Google Doc spreadsheet. Hey June, thanks for swinging by. So if you want it, you just have to send me a message. Say, Forrest, I want the Google Doc spreadsheet. I'll send this. It won't have all my stuff on there. It's just going to be this one page with the formulas pre-built into it. All you've got to do in here is fill in the values, and you can come back and watch this video and see exactly how I did that. Remember, you're going to right click on this. You're going to come down to data validation, right? You can come down to data validation, list of items. You're going to list your items that you want in that field, and you can do as many of these as you want to. If you want to add another row or column, you're simply going to highlight the column, right click on it, insert one to the left, insert one to the right, insert one to the left, insert one to the right. So I want to insert a column. So I just want to hit insert, and bam, there's my column. So I can go in and change this formula. So let's say this was a tool sent, and say in this column, I wanted to change it to something else that I'm sending them. So here, maybe sample, right? So what did I send them? After maybe I sent them a tool, maybe I want to change a sample. And here's what's okay. Somebody's saying, what if I had a column in? Will it change these values over here? No, because this value is based on this number, and it will always be. So, and the formulas change as you move stuff around. Remember, this used to be F2 right here. Now it's G2 because I slid everything to the right. Google Docs says, wait a minute, let's fix that automatically. So everything was fixed automatically. So when I put a date in here, let's say I sent a sample, and the sample was whatever the sample was. Let's say foot balm, for example, is what I put in there. So I sent a foot balm sample, and the date I sent it was, I don't know, let's put in today, since today is the 17th. I sent it on the 17th, 2019, and it automatically calculated everything for me. So what I also did was up here in my little script area, you'll see there's a little cover area right here. Says, hi, my name, hi, apologies for not connecting back sooner. Crazy busy, how are you? And that's part of our crazy follow-up that we learn in Rank Makers, but there's scripts up here. You can go in and do the scripts. To change the script, you'll see there's a little bitty triangle in the upper right-hand corner. If you click on that, if you right-click on it, come on, this work, please work. I do stuff and then I forget how I just did it. Come on. And I just erased it. So you'll notice there's a script right in the upper right-hand corner here. Of course, these scripts you can customize and make them for whatever you want for the follow-up. I would sort of recommend you use the scripts that I put up there because, well, I learned them from Ray and they work very well. And they're it's just a memory jog. You don't have to like copy and paste them. It's just to say, what am I supposed to say on day 45? What am I supposed to say on day 60? What am I supposed to say? These are just real good scripts as a sort of a reminder to use. Okay, what am I supposed to be doing on day 30? Am I doing a deflection? Am I doing a follow-up? What am I doing? And these will give you some memory joggers on what you're supposed to be doing. Again, all of this is going to be based on your company, your products, your services, and what you're following up. And you can use this Google Docs spreadsheet to follow up with anybody for anything, for any reason. Maybe you sell cars, furniture, houses, boats, paper clips, or whatever it is. Makeup. Makeup's a good one because you're selling, or your boutique. Maybe you have a customer that you know that loves to come in and buys a certain product from you every month. So you can put her name in there. And if you get her Facebook stuff, you can put her Facebook profile in there. So guess what? Here's how this works. Watch this, watch this, watch this. You've got your cool digital business card, right? You've got her Facebook profile. You've got this. You can do two things. You can send her a digital business card. On your digital business card, you can go, hey Susan, it looks like you purchased some, what is it, concealer? That's the right word. You purchased some concealer about 30 days ago. You should be pretty close to running out. I've got a special, buy 2, get 1 free, or buy 2 and get the third one 50% off, or whatever. You can send her that text message because you've got a follow-up here. They'll follow up with her every 30 days because you know her concealer is going to last about 30 days, maybe her lipstick a little bit longer, shorter. So you can itemize that. Just you can set her up to follow up with people. So hopefully you guys got some value. If you would like this Google Doc spreadsheet, just shoot me a message and say, dude, I want the Google Doc spreadsheet and the lipstick. I don't know where the lipstick's going to come from, but I don't know how I'm going to message that to you through Facebook. But if you want it, make sure you set, let me do a stop share here. Here we go. Make sure if you want the Google Doc spreadsheet, you guys just shoot me a private message, say, I want the Google Doc spreadsheet. I know a couple of people ask about it. Then I went in to try and find this video wherever it was, buried in Facebook like months ago, and I'm sorry I couldn't find it. So I'm actually going to probably take this, download it. I'm going to put it on Vimeo, and I'm going to put it on freaking YouTube, so I'll know where it's at. And I'll probably even put it on a digital business card, so it'll be there as well. Anyway, it's Forrest out in St. Louis. You want the Google Doc? If you want the Google Doc spreadsheet follow-up system, whatever this thing is called, shoot me a private message. Say I want the Google Doc spreadsheet follow-up. I'll get it over to you right away. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it, especially if you don't follow up. Live healthy, my friends. Go out and make an extreme impact. Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.